Hello friends, welcome back to the video series in Oracle PL SQL programming. In this video, we will discuss on the join in Oracle SQL. Joins. Join is used to get the data from multiple tables by joining. At least one common field must be there to create a join. Join can be classified on the basis of data retrieval. A join is a query that combines rows from two or more tables, views, or materialized views. Oracle database performs a join whenever multiple tables appear in the from clause of the query. The select list of the query can select any columns from any of these tables. If any two of these tables have a column name in common, then you must qualify all references to these columns throughout the query with table names to avoid ambiguity. For example, suppose there are two tables, employee and department. In the employee table, each employee is connected with department number, but no department name in the employee table, whereas department table contains department number and department name. So, using common column department number from both tables, we can join the tables and can get the output of the query. Which employee is employed under which department, that is department name. Here, department number is the common field in both the tables employee and department. Now about the classification of SQL join. Equi joins, non-equi joins, outer joins and self joins. These joins are based on the Oracle proprietary joins. Now, equi joins and non-equi joins are based on the Oracle inner joins. The inner join is such a join when equi joins and non-equi joins are performed. Rows from the source and target tables are matched using a join condition formulated with equality and inequality operators, respectively. So, it returns all rows from multiple tables where the join condition is met. Suppose there are two tables, employee and department. In the employee table, there are some employees who are not assigned in any department, such as in the department table, there are some departments where no employees have been assigned. So, inner join gives us the records of those employees who have common in both tables. Employees who have no departments, same as departments who have no employees, not shown in the inner join or simple join. Now, during this inner join, when we are using the equal sign, that is equal operator, it is equi join. If we use any other operator other than equal operator, it is falls under the category of non-equi joins. Let's talk about the outer join. An outer join extends the result of a simple join. An outer join returns all rows that satisfy the condition and also returns some or all of those rows from one table for which no rows from the other satisfy the join condition. Practically, outer join means either left outer join or right outer join. To write a query that performs an outer join of tables, suppose capital A and capital B and returns all the rows from capital A, that means a left outer join. Use the left or the outer join syntax in the from clause or apply the outer join operator, that is plus, to all columns of capital B in the join condition in the where clause. For all rows in capital A, that have no matching rows in capital B, Oracle database returns null for any select list expressions containing columns of capital B. To write a query that performs an outer join of tables A and B, that means capital A and capital B, and returns all rows from capital B, a right outer join. Use the right or the outer join syntax in the from clause, or apply the outer join operator, that is plus, to all columns of capital A in the join condition in the where clause. For all rows in capital B that have no matching rows in capital A, Oracle returns null for any select list expressions containing columns of capital A. To write a query that performs an outer join and returns all rows from capital A and capital B, extend it with nulls if they do not satisfy the join condition. That means a full outer join. Use the capital FULL outer join syntax in the from clause. Now about self join. A self join is a join in which a table is joined with itself. To join a table itself means that each row of the table is combined with itself and with every other row of the table. The table appears twice in the from clause and is followed by table aliases that qualify column names in the join condition. The self join can be viewed as a join of two copies of the same table. The table is not actually copied, but SQL performs the command as though it were. To perform a self join, Oracle database combines and returns rows of the table that satisfy the join condition. Let us demonstrate each and everything using the SQL Plus. Let us connect to the Oracle database using the user system, and the password, as you know throughout the video series, is password. Now we are connected to the Oracle database. Let us check the structure of the two tables. The first one is department. Sorry, that must be department. And the second one is the employee. Throughout the series, we are working on these two tables, department and employee. Now, these two tables have a common column or entity. That one is the DEPT ID. These column names may be different in the two tables or may have the same name, but both common column must have the same data with data type to follow. So we are now proceeding to the Equi Joins. Let us type the query at first, and before that we are clearing the screen for better view. That is, select first name, comma, EMP-ID, comma, DEPT name from employee, that first table, and the second table is the department. In this query, the first name and EMP-ID, these two columns are from the employee table, and the DEPT name is from the department table. Now execute the statement. After execution of the query, what we get? 300 total rows selected, that means 300 total records. Practically, we have no joining condition has been given. So what happens? Simply the Cartesian product of EMP-ID and first name of employee table with department of department table. So the output we get is not desirable and not what we want. So we need to add the joining condition to the query. So once again, we are clearing the screen for better view. And here the same statement we are using, but here we are using a condition where employee dot dept id, that one is equal to department department, that particular table dot dept id, semicolon, press enter. Now we are getting the total 27 rows, and that is the result, practically what we want. This type of joining is known as Equi Join, as we are here using the equal operator. That means that one. Now, in place of equal sign or operator, if we use any other comparison operator such as greater than or less than sign, we may say that type of joining as non-Equi Join. Moreover, in this type of query, we can also use the alias, such as the query, the same query we are here writing, and here we are using e dot first name, comma, e dot empid, comma, d dot dpt name from employee, and here we are using the alias e for the employee table, and for the department table we are using the alias d, where also we can use the alias here in place of employee table. E dot dpt id is equal to d dot dpt id. Press enter, and here the same result we are using. So here e, small e, has been used as the alias of the employee table, and small d has been used as the alias of department table. So this is a small discussion about Equi Joins and also non-Equi Joins. Let us now discuss on outer join. Now, when discussing about the outer join, there are two types of outer join: left outer join and right outer join. Let us, we want all the records from the employee table and records matching from the department table. Let us discuss about the left outer join at first. Let us check the statement once again, and once again we are clearing the screen at first, and here we are using the same statement, just we are changing the e dot first name as the second column in the output. That would be better. Now select e dot empid, comma, e dot first name, comma, d dot dept name from employee e, comma, department d, where e dot dept id is equal to d dot dept id, and here we are using within parenthesis the plus sign or operator. So here we are writing the employee as the first table and department as the second table. To mean employee would be the left table, although this is not necessarily not important and required. But look at the plus sign in the right hand side of the d.dpt id within parenthesis, which clearly indicates the join would be left outer join. Let us execute it and discuss more to the case of left outer join and press enter. And here we are getting 31 rows. Here in the output, we find 4 records. such as 101, 115, let's check 101, 115, 118 and 123 have no department assigned, as we are not getting any department here for that 4 employees. So it clearly shows that all the records from the employee table has been shown here, but in the department table only the matching department names have been shown. So it demonstrates clearly the left outer join. Now about the right outer join. Just change the plus operator or the sign from the right of the d.dept id to the e.dept id. So once again we are writing the same statement, just here we are changing the position of the plus. So within parenthesis we are writing the plus here and press enter. Now here we are getting 30 rows. Now you can check there are 3 departments from the department table: AI, ML, BTech and MTech CS, in which departments no employee have been assigned. So obviously all the records from the department table has been shown, whereas only the matching records, that is only assigned employees from the employee table, has been shown. So this demonstrates how the right outer join work. So we have discussed about the equi joins, non-equi joins, left outer joins and also the right outer join. Let us discuss now about the self join. What is self join? This type of join occurs within the single table. Let us think about a table EMP manager, which contains 5 columns: EMP ID, first name, last name, manager ID and DPT ID. As you know, any manager is also an employee. Now, according to department, some employees work under one manager. Again, this manager also can be an employee under another manager in some other department. So, to get the list of managers and employees who work under which manager or which employee is the manager of other employee, we can use the self join, as we are using only one table EMP manager itself. Let's check how to use the self join and type the statements, and for that at first type clear screen. And here we are writing select m dot first name, comma, it is better as manager, comma, e dot first name as employee from EMP manager, that particular table, and here we are using the alias m for that table EMP manager, comma, the same table, that is EMP manager, because we are using the self join, and here we are using the alias as e, where we have e dot manager ID is equal to m dot manager ID, semicolon. Press enter. Now here we are getting 19 rows or records. Practically what happens? Check the output. This is how we can find the list of managers and employees and which employee work under which manager. Although total number of records are here 19, but here different employees work under different managers and managers are also working as employee under different managers. So we are getting total 19 records or list of managers and employees. At first, we can check what is the total number of records in the EMP manager. So select star from EMP manager, and here we are getting total number of records are 7, but using the self join we are getting the total number of records as 19. Now let us discuss over the SQL compliant joins. Cross join, natural join, joins through using clause, and full outer join. So first one about the cross join, and simply it is the Cartesian product between the two tables. So if we say about employee and department table and say employee table contains 30 records and department table contains 10 records, after cross join we would get 30 cross 10 is equal to 300 records. For cross join we have to use the cross join keyword. Now about the natural join. Here we are not providing any common field for the query from the tables. When any common name of field found from the tables, natural join occurs. Now, suppose not only one common field found, rather we have two common fields from the two tables, such as in employee table, EMP ID is there with manager ID, and in department table, DPT ID is there along with manager ID. Also, employee table has DPT ID column present. So here we have to use the clause, and thus joins through using clause is acting here to execute the query. Full outer join is a combination of left outer join and right outer join. Here, not only all the records from left table as in the case of left outer join, or all the records from right table as in the case of right outer join happens. Rather, all the records from left and right, both tables, are listed, so as it is termed as the full outer join. Let us check all these discussions through the SQL plus practically. Let us check the cross join at first, and for that at first clear the screen. So at first we are checking select EMP ID from the table employee, and here we are getting total number of records as 31. Now once again select DPT name from department, semicolon, press enter. Now total 10 records found. Now we are typing select EMP ID comma DPT name from employee, and we are writing cross join with which table? Now that is department, semicolon, press enter. We are getting 310 rows or records. This is because 31 records from the employee table multiplied by the 10 records from the department table after Cartesian product gives us 310 records. As previously discussed, cross join is just nothing but the Cartesian product. Now about the natural join. As previously described, both the tables have to be one common field with the same common name. Here we would work on two tables, employee and department, where both the tables have a common name field DPT ID. So once again check what are the structures of these two tables. DSC employee and DSC department, and both have the DPT ID as the common field. Now for the natural join, we would use the natural join these keywords. So select EMP ID, comma, DPT name from employee with the keywords for the natural join with the table, that is department, semicolon. Press enter. Total 27 records or rows selected. As 4 employees are not assigned in any department, that is with the DPT ID. Let's check it from the employee table. So that is select EMP ID, comma, DPT ID. From employee, semicolon, press enter. As there are total 31 records, but check with the EMP ID. The first one is 101, then 115, then 118, and also 123. These 4 employees are not associated with any department. That one, 115, and also the 101. So out of total 31 records, total 27 records or rows are listed through the natural join. Now look about the two tables, EMP manager and also the DPT manager. So here at first, clear the screen for better view. So DSC EMP manager and another one table, DSC DPT manager. That must be manager, semicolon, press enter. The columns from the EMP manager are EMP ID, first name, last name, manager ID, and DPT ID. And for the table DPT manager, DPT ID, DPT name, and manager ID. So two tables have two common fields with common name DPT ID and also the manager ID. Now, if we use the natural join on these two tables, EMP manager and department manager, so we are typing select first name, comma, DPT name from EMP manager with natural join with the table DPT manager, semicolon, press enter. Here 6 rows are the records selected, but this is not intended as we want, as two common fields with common name are here. So here we can use the natural join with one common field, but name must be the same. So we are just changing the query, select first name, comma, DPT name from EMP manager join. Here we are using join, not natural join, just join with dpt manager using. That is how we can use the using clause using dpt id. So we are providing one common field and then press enter. So here we get the complete list of all the employees, and this is known as the natural join using clause, but only join keyword is used, not the natural keyword is used here. Once again, we are using only the join keyword when we are using the using clause. Now, if we have same common field on the both tables but the names are different, we can use the on keyword. Now, although here we have same common name, we are just demonstrating the query how it would be. So for that, at first clear the screen for better view, and we have to type select first name comma dpt name from emp manager join dpt manager, and how we can use the on. Then we have to type on that particular keyword and then emp manager dot dpt id is equal to dpt manager dot dpt id, or whatever be the name of the column. Press enter and we are getting the same result, but the on keyword is used when we have the same common column but with the different name, although here the department name are same for both the tables. Now let us discuss about the outer join. Previously we have discussed about the left outer join or left join and right join. So type select first name comma dpt name comma, it's better from employee. Now we are writing left outer join with the table department. Once again using clause using which column? Now that is dpt id semicolon. So total 31 records are found or selected. Here employee is the left table, so all the records from left employee table would be listed. As you are checking here, the employee is the left table, so all the records from the employee table has been listed here. Same as we can use the query for the right join. So write the query just here. In place of left, we are writing or typing just right. So that one is the right outer join. Press enter. But here we are getting 31 records. But to get the full join from the two tables, we use the full outer join, that particular keywords. At first clear the screen for better view once again and type in place of left or right just here, that is full, that means full outer join with the table department. So press enter and here the total number of records are 34. So here we get the departments from the department table where no employees are assigned also, and same as employees from the employee table who has no department assigned. So getting the full list of employees and department records, we are using the full outer join, as here MTech CS from the department table, BTech AIML, which have no employees assigned, same as that Shamput, Shumanto and Shumon, and you may check another one, Rohit. These 4 employees are not assigned in any department. So that is the full outer join. So this is how the join works in the Oracle SQL.